Market rocketing upward today on positive news of a coronavirus vaccine by Pfizer showing 90% effectiveness.
Yeah, joining us now to talk about the market's reaction is financial advisor Dennis Brewster. First of all, Dennis, want to welcome you.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So Pfizer up, no surprise there, but the reaction and some of the effect on other medical-based companies seems to be mixed. So for example, Moderna is up right now, but AstraZeneca and Quidel, which is a San Diego-based company that created the rapid antigen test, those are down. Can you break down for us what is happening here with the Pfizer news and then other companies that are in the game?
Sure. Well, the news was, definitely big news and big positive news for the markets. But as with any event, there's two sides to every coin. The flip side of that, Quidel, which does the rapid testing, the stock's gone from 50 to 300 this year. So companies have a tendency to get ahead of themselves. And I think, you're seeing this morning, it's down close to 100 points or 30%, down to 200. So, the news on the vaccine is good for a lot of other industries, but for the testing industry going forward, it's going to throw a little bit of a damper on it.
So aside from the competition between companies, what about just what's been happening in the election and the fact that Congress is still split? The market seems to like that.
Yeah, if you look at the history of the markets, what they really prefer is a split Congress. No matter whether it's a Democrat or Republican in office, historically the markets have always done best when we've had a split Congress. That's why you saw last week was a very strong week. We were up 5 to 7%, depending on how you want to measure it. And so I think more than anything, not so much who was going to win the White House, but the split Congress is what the markets really liked.
And Dennis, you mentioned other companies also being affected by Pfizer's news today, and we're seeing that with the markets here. Staying home companies, you could say, like
Right.
Zoom, the numbers way down.
Right.
But a company like AMC, which is going out and
Right.
going out of your home, that stock is up. What do you make of that, and how much staying power there is for this in the future?
Well, that'll be the tricky thing. I mean, the vaccine was a big announcement, but it's going to take time to get out to the general public. And companies like AMC or casinos, airlines, how quickly are people going to go back to those? But if you're willing to look beyond that, and the markets are always forward-looking, those were huge developments. And so I think probably more than anything, it just shows those companies will weather the storm. It doesn't mean it's going to be all roses going forward either. It's probably going to still be a bumpy path ahead of them, but hopefully the future is brighter.
Dennis, how contagious is the market? The market tries to predict which way business is going, but at the same time, when we see these big shifts like we see today going way up, how much of that is folks jumping on the bandwagon, not wanting to miss out?
Yeah, you'll always get a short-term reaction like that, Jim, to the market. I mean, the market's made up of a lot of participants, and there are some maybe like you and I were saving for retirement, saving for something out in the future. The day-to-day is not that critical. And then you get participants that, they make their living by trading it on a daily basis. And so because that news was so somewhat out of the blue and so positive, that's why we've gotten such a knee-jerk reaction today.
Financial advisor Dennis Brewster, thank you so much for sorting some of this stuff out for us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Virginia.